Your time right now, 5:52 on this Friday morning. And Chris Harkins, I always have trouble with your name. Chris Harkins, Senior Vice President of Delta Trust Investments, joins us this morning to discuss the year-end financial house cleaning. Basically, you need to do to make sure your house is in order, or financial house that is in order. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Well, we're just a couple of weeks away from the end of the year. What should viewers be doing at this time?
This is a really good time to kind of look over your accounts, year-end planning, taking a look at what happened over the past year, what went right, what went wrong in the portfolio, and also work with your tax advisor and see if there's any year-end tax planning to see if we could kind of squeeze out a few things before the end of the year.
So this is the time where all the record keeping you've been doing all year long, pull them out, review everything, lay it out, and see where you started and where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. What's really important is, I think, a really good exercise is to look at what went right and what went wrong, and then learn from that and see if there's something you could do, and then also maybe clear the account a little bit from some of the things that are lagging, and then start the year fresh, maybe with a little bit of cash, and maybe put it to work at the beginning of the year.
Well, this year wasn't as bad as 2008 or 2009, but it was still a volatile market here. What is your professional opinion or perception of how this year really rounds out?
It was a really tough year. I mean, if people feel tired and exhausted, there's a good reason. I mean, the market was up 5–10%, down 5–10%. So, you know, it was tough. And what's easy to forget in a flat year is the market is up about 50% since 2009. But all that really matters right now is, what have you done for me lately? And so this is a flat year, but I think it's pretty healthy. So it's a good time to take a step back, realize if you did pretty well, and then get ready for next year. It's time to move on to the new year. Well,
with everything that's happening here in the U.S. as well as the global economy, everybody is unsure where we are going, whether we may dip back into a recession or not. What are you thinking as we head into 2012?
You know, there's the day-to-day stuff that can kind of pull you away from your long-term planning, but there's a lot of good things going on. Many companies announced incredible earnings for 2011, and it's evident. In fact, look here in Arkansas. Arkansas publicly traded companies, half of them are trading at their 52-week highs. So if things are so bad, why are companies coming out with great earnings? And why are some local companies here trading at a 52-week high? I think there's a lot of really interesting, good things that are being missed because they're maybe hard to understand when people are paying attention to important things like the unemployment numbers, Europe. Those things are very distracting. So it's really easy to get caught in the day-to-day stuff and lose the fact that, you know, there's a lot of good things going on right now.
Bringing it back to the personal level, any other advice as this year rounds up right here in December?
Yeah, I think it's really important, again, to take a step back, make sure that the risk that you're taking is appropriate for you. At the end of the year is an exercise, again, look at what went right, look at what went wrong, see what you can do to squeeze out some tax savings at the end of the year, and start the year as fresh as you can, and look at the news and surround yourself with information that's been helpful in the past, and try to go into it with an open mind.
And speaking of taxes, there are always those deductions that people really don't know about, and this is the time to actually talk to the experts and know exactly what you may be able to write off. Maybe it's an expense at work or something that you can actually just get money back on or be able to write that off.
That's it. I mean, the tax load is complicated enough, and they change it every year. So again, this exercise is great to also look at any type of new tax law changes and see if you need to contribute more to your 401k plan, your IRA, things like that. And so that's also helpful to go through the exercise. That's a great point.
Great advice this morning. Chris Harkins with Delta Trust Investment. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, your time right now, 5:56. We're headed for a break. We'll have a lot more. Stay with us. We'll be right back.